The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
Ephraim Shapiro, a big Sephardic Rav in Eretz Yisrael, very beautifully into Kir, was giving a lecture a few years ago, and he was speaking about the Kedusha of Achila, how we eat, and we make brachos, and the Kavana, and he was going through many of the halachas. And he spoke about how you make a bracha, you cut up the food into pieces, etc. Jews of all types and stripes were there. Afterwards, a Yid comes over to him, totally secular, and he says, Rabbi, your lecture moved me. I took upon myself a small Kabbalah, like I just said from Yusuf Chayzik Chaver. Small, gradual. What did I take upon myself? From now on, when I eat, I'm going to cut up my food into small, bite-sized pieces. Reb Chaim Zayed probably wanted to tell the fellow, buddy, how about Shabbos? You want to try tefillin? Kashrus? Eat kosher food. What does he take upon himself? I'll cut up my food into small pieces. That's meaningful. A year later, he's giving another shiur. A fellow comes over to him, a beautiful-looking, full, religious Yid, and he says, Rebbe, do you remember me? I'm that fellow who took upon himself a year ago the Kabbalah to cut up my food. Then what happened to you? Look at you now, a year later. He says, I'll tell you what happened. This fellow, by the way, used to work in a bakery. He was currently unemployed. One day he took his kids to the park. The kids said, we're starving. He didn't bring any food. He sees across the street there's a bakery. A guy's loading and unloading trucks, Danish. The kids say, please get us something. He goes to the fellow. He asks nicely. He says, no, this is wholesale. I have a fleet of trucks. This is our business. I'm not selling you a couple Danish. He says, please, my kids are starving. Maybe you could sell some Danish. The guy asks nicely. He gives him a few chocolate, Danish. Mamash oozing with chocolate. Brings it to the kids. They're about to sit down and eat, and he remembers his Kabbalah, his commitment. No. We have to cut it into small pieces. The boy said, you're starving, the Danish is oozing with chocolate. I don't know if there's a TMI, too much info. Most people aren't cutting it up into small pieces. Enjoy. He goes to wherever, and he gets himself a knife and a plate and that, and he cuts it up for his kids. He sees inside something green and funny. Now, he used to work in a bakery, so he knew that for there to be flour or sugar that clumps together is not unusual. But green, that's unusual. He brought it closer and he smelled. He said it was an engine oil of the most dangerous type. Whether or not a worker, somebody put it in maliciously or inadvertently, we don't know that part of the story. He quickly ran to the guy in the truck. He made him stop. He thought it was crazy, made him stop. He said, let's start cutting some of them open. Every single one that they cut open had this green poisonous engine oil. He made it crystal clear, had they eaten it, they wouldn't be around to tell the tale, or at least violently ill. They checked all of the ones in all of the trucks that were there from the fleet. They all had the dangerous engine oil. As a result of his small Kabbalah, the approach of Rabbi Yitzchak Isaac Chaver, gradual, he realized it saved his life and that of his children. He took upon himself something else and something else and something else and something else, and a year later he came back a totally religious Yid. And the icing on the cake, pun intended, is that the owner of the fleet of bakeries was so honored that the guy saved him from what could have been a calamity. He hired him and gave him a job in the bakery. Because when you lead a life, a Chaver says, gradual, incremental, it becomes believable. I conceptualize it. I visualize it, because when I do it gradually, and then it's possible.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org